Hi everyone, we're going to evaluate the definite integral from 0 to 1 of 1 divided by square root of x plus 1 minus square root of x dx using the fundamental theorem of calculus. Before we start, this is going to be hard to integrate like this. So what we're going to do is multiply the denominator by the conjugate. And what I mean, we're going to rationalize the denominator, in other words. So basically, we have the form of a plus or a minus b. So the conjugate would be a plus b. And when you multiply these two, it's the difference of squares here. And that's going to get rid of the radicals in the denominator. To do that, we also have to multiply the numerator by that. So if you take your denominator, we're going to have that square root of x plus 1 minus the square root of x. And we're going to multiply it by the conjugate. So we have this form. Our a is square root of x plus 1. Then you put plus, our b is square root of x. Then you multiply your 1. You also have to multiply it by the numerator because we're just multiplying this by 1, right? So it's 1 times the square root of x plus 1 plus the square root of x. Just remember these two, when you divide, gives you 1. So we're just rewriting our expression. Now let's go ahead and we have our dx here. Like that. All right. So basically when you simplify this, we're going to use this form here. So we get the integral from 0 to 1. And when you square your a, that's just going to give you x plus 1. And when you square your b, that just gives you x, and it's minus. So minus x. And your numerator is still going to be square root of x plus 1 plus square root of x. All right, dx. Now what happens is the x's cancel. And so we just have the numerator divided by 1. So the simplification is going to be just square root of x plus 1 plus square root of x dx. All right, now when you integrate this is going to give you, for this piece, let's rewrite this as the integral of from 0 to 1. And let's write this in a rational form. X plus 1 to the power of 1/2 plus x to the power of 1/2 dx. All right, so when you integrate this, you add 1. So this is going to be x plus 1 to the power of 3/2 divided by 3/2, which is the same as multiplying by 2/3. And the same thing happens with the x. 2/3 x to the power of 3/2. And then we're evaluating this from 0 to 1. Now, substituting in a 1, you're going to get 2/3 times 2 to the power of 3/2 plus 2/3. And then let's subtract. We're using the fundamental theorem of calculus. So when you substitute 0 in here, you're going to get minus 2/3. And this is just going to go to 0. So this cancels, and basically this is going to equal 2/3 times 2 to, I'm going to break this up, 2 to the power of 1/2 times 2 to the power of 2/2, right? So this is just going to be times 2. This is going to be 2/3 times 2 times 2 to the power of 1/2. This gives you 4/3 times the square root of 2. And this is your final answer. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.